Johnny Talk Sports in with the Week 12 NFL predictions. Last week I went 7-7, which is 500. And I thought I was going to do much better last week. I felt confident with my picks last week. I felt like I was going to get out of the slump that I'm in, but I need another week. Despite the 7-7 record, this week is a whole new week. So let's get to the Week 12 NFL predictions. Now we have 3 games on Thanksgiving Day. So we start off our Thanksgiving Day predictions with the Texans and the Lions. Matthew Stafford has a thumb injury. He's questionable. Kenny Golladay is also questionable, as Kenny Golladay has been in and out of the Lions lineup all season long. So the way I see this matchup, neither of these defenses have been impressive this season. Both of these defenses are in the bottom tier statistically in the National Football League. So I don't see the defenses having a huge factor in this game. I'm expecting this game to be very high scoring. And as far as the offenses are concerned, Galladay's questionable, Stafford's questionable. And for the Texans, you've got a healthy Deshaun Watson, you've got a healthy Will Fuller. Honestly, give me the healthier quarterback in Deshaun Watson in this matchup, as well as the healthier offense with Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks. So I'm going to take the Texans in this game based off of the Texans. They look the healthiest at this point, so I'm going to go with Houston in this one. Our second Thanksgiving Day game features the Washington football team and the Cowboys. Now, these two teams faced off earlier in the season, and the football team won 25-3. Now, I expect there to be some bad blood in this game, because this was the game where Andy Dalton suffered a vicious hit, and he was forced to miss a couple of games due to a concussion, as he couldn't complete the concussion protocol for a couple of weeks. While the Washington football team, they're coming after their third win of the season. And I would have never expected that in Week 12, a Thanksgiving Day matchup was going to feature two teams that only have 3 wins each, and the winner of the game was going to take the lead in their division. I would have never expected that, but it is the NFC East. The Cowboys both these teams really are coming off of what I felt like were must-win games. Despite the NFC East, I still feel like that last week was a must-win for both of these teams. But I'm going to pick the Washington football team in this one. I just like that football team running game led by Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick. I just think that Terry McLaurin's also going to have a good game. Despite McLaurin being questionable, I do expect him to play this week and take advantage of the bad Cowboys secondary. So I will take the Washington football team in this matchup. And our third and final Thanksgiving Day game features the Ravens and the Steelers. There's a lot of pressure on Lamar Jackson this week to perform. Now the Ravens, they do lead the NFL in rushing offense, but a big chunk of that was led by Mark Ingram and J.K. Dobbins, who are both out for this game, and the Ravens are going to be relying heavily on Gus Edwards and Justice Hill for the Ravens running game this week as they take on the Steelers, who have one of the best run defenses in the National Football League. Now, the first time, I feel like the Ravens, they did a pretty good job running the football against the Steelers. But with Ingram and Dobbins out and forcing the Ravens to go with Edwards and Hill and even Lamar Jackson on the ground, this could be a game where Lamar Jackson may have to be forced to win the game through the air. And I'm not liking his chances. I feel like a lot of these defenses are starting to figure out Lamar Jackson, starting to figure out his play style. So I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one to stay unbeaten. And our first Sunday game of the week, the Raiders and the Falcons. Now, the Raiders, they came so close to sweeping the Chiefs this season, while the Falcons, they allowed Taysom Hill, normally a tight end and really third-string quarterback, to run all over them. And I think at this point, the Falcons should just surrender their season. They're in position for a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. So they might as well just surrender, wave the white flag. For the Raiders, they came so close to beating the Chiefs. This is what I think is going to be a must-win for the Raiders in this situation to stay in the wild card race. And I'm going to pick Las Vegas to win this one. I just think that the receivers, Aguilar's getting better in this Raiders passing game. And I think he's going to have a field day on this Falcons secondary. So for any fantasy players out there, you might want to pick up or even start Nelson Aguilar, depending on if he's available in your league. So I'm going with Las Vegas. Next, we have the Chargers and the Bills. The Bills are coming off of a bye week, while the Chargers, they're coming off of a win against the Jets. And honestly, the Chargers, they didn't really look that good defensively against the Jets. That game was a lot closer than anticipated. With the Bills coming off of a bye week, I'm going to go with Buffalo in this one. I do like that Chargers offense. I really do. But the Bills defense, it's one of the better defenses in the league, while the Chargers defense has been a disappointment all throughout the season. And it did start with Derwin James having surgery that required him to sit out for this entire season. And the Chargers, well, they've been involved in all their games have been decided by one possession. So this could be another close game, but if it is close, I just don't like the Chargers' chances here. I mean, the recent history is just showing that the Bills will win this game, and all signs point to it. However, I feel like if that Chargers defense, if they can contain Josh Allen well, I do like the chances. Maybe the Chargers, they use their running game. They use their running game to keep Josh Allen and the Bills on the sidelines. And have Justin Herbert complete short intermediate passes. Keenan Allen, who set a franchise record for receptions in a game last week, if he can step up in the passing game, maybe the Chargers got a chance. But I just can't pick against the Bills coming off of a bye week. So I'm going to go with Buffalo. Next, we have the Giants and the Bengals. And this feels like a game where I have to pick somebody in this one. The Bengals, Joe Burrow suffered a torn ACL and MCL, and there is other injuries within his leg. So he's probably going to be out much longer than expected, while for the Giants, they are coming off of a bye. And I think the Giants, they've shown their heart in a lot of these games. If you think, they played pretty close against the Steelers opening weekend. The Giants probably could have maybe one or two more wins this season than what their record shows. So I don't think this Giants team is a completely bad team at all. And I'm going to pick the Giants to win this one. I just feel like with the Bengals starting Ryan Finley, at least that's what is anticipated, in place of Joe Burrow. I just think the Giants, they're going to utilize Wayne Gallman in this run game. And for the Bengals, Joe Mixon also got placed on the injury reserves this past week. So they're going to be relying heavily on Giovanni Bernard. So I'm going to go with the Giants in this matchup. Next, we have the Titans and the Colts. Now, these two teams squared off a couple of weeks ago on Thursday Night Football, and the Colts came out victorious. Now, the Titans, they are that one team in the NFL where I just can't get a read on them. One week, the Titans, they seem like this really good team, and then another week, it just seems like that they really are overrated. So it goes from overrated to a championship contender to overrated to a championship contender. Both these teams are coming off of big wins. The Titans getting a big win in overtime against the Ravens, and the Colts are coming off of a come-from-behind win against the Packers. In fact, both of these teams are coming off overtime victories. And I'm going to go with the Colts in this one. I do think this game is going to be a lot closer this time around than it was on Thursday Night Football. I think this is going to be a one-possession game. But I think the Colts will win this time as well. But I think it's going to be a lot closer. I'm going to say maybe a 3 to 7 point victory for Indy in this one. Next, we have the Panthers and the Vikings. The Vikings had their winning streak snapped by the Cowboys last week, and Adam Thielen is most likely not going to play this week. His status, though, is still up in the air, as well as the status of Teddy Bridgewater, the Panthers QB. Are they going to be starting him, or are they going to go with P.J. Walker again? And despite having P.J. Walker at quarterback, the Panthers still picked up a 20-0 victory over the Lions last week. But I'm going to pick Minnesota. I just think Dalvin Cook, ever since the bye week, Dalvin Cook has just looked like a completely different running back. The Vikings have looked like a completely different team since the bye week. And even if Adam Thielen can't play in this game, I still like Justin Jefferson to step up in the Vikings passing game. And I also think that Dalvin Cook, I think he's going to have a big game against this Panthers team. Because if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, the Buccaneers ran the ball 37 times against this Panthers defense. So I feel like Dalvin Cook will get a big chunk of carries in this matchup, and I'm going with Minnesota. Next, we have the Cardinals and the Patriots. The Cardinals, they're coming off of a few days extra rest than the Patriots. The Patriots, they're coming off against a loss against the Texans, and the Cardinals coming off of a loss to the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. The way I see this matchup, I see this being, I think it's going to be a really solid game despite their records and despite what people are thinking of both these teams right now. The Patriots and Cardinals, I like the quarterback battle here between Kyler Murray and Cam Newton. I just feel like with the couple days extra rest, I do like the Cardinals' chances in this one. I think the Cardinals, they can win this game by at least double digits, but I think it's going to be much closer than that. I think Bill Belichick is going to do his best to try to eliminate DeAndre Hopkins in the passing game, and that will leave the door wide open for Christian Kirk or even Larry Fitzgerald. I think the Cardinals win, but I think this game, I think it's going to come down to the wire. I think the Patriots defense, I think they can stay in this game from start to finish, contain Kyler Murray, but the Cardinals, they pull it out in the end. So I'm going with Arizona. Next, we have the Dolphins and the Jets. And these two teams already faced off earlier as their division rivals. And this is ultimately where the Dolphins decided to go with Tua Tagovailoa as a starting quarterback. But it appears they're going with Ryan Fitzpatrick again. And the Jets, they're still looking for the first win of the season. This game feels pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go with the Dolphins in this one. I just feel like this is a chance for Ryan Fitzpatrick to get some redemption because this was the opponent where ultimately he lost his starting position and he has an opportunity to potentially win this back. So I'm going to go with Miami in this game. Pretty self-explanatory. I mean, the Jets haven't won a game yet. The Jets are already eliminated from playoff contention. So right now, the Jets are in a race, I believe, with just the Jaguars for Trevor Lawrence. Next, we have the Browns and the Jaguars. And I just mentioned the Jaguars. They are one of the two teams that are right now in the race to get Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback out of Clemson. While the Browns, they are looking phenomenal this season. These last couple of weeks, they have been carried in the running game, led by Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And the Browns, could this be a game where it could be a trap game? Because right now, we're all sold on the Browns. I'm even buying in on the Browns side. Even though I wasn't in the beginning of the season, I'm sold on this Browns team now. This running game, it's looking pretty good. Could this be a trap game, though? Because it seems like every time in recent years, when we start to think, could the Browns be back? Could this be the Browns having a good season? They ultimately lose the very next week. But I think the Browns can get it done, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville pulled off the upset in this matchup, as it's looking like it's going to be Jake Luton again this week in place of Gardner Minshew. But the Browns, you didn't care about the running game of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt again this week. I expect this game to be very kind of average scoring. I don't think the Browns are going to have really a big-time offense this week, because the last couple of weeks, they've been winning it off of the run. So if Jacksonville's defense can stack the box against this Browns running game and sell running plays on first and second down, and you force Baker Mayfield to win this game through the air, you've got a chance. Because I'm still not seeing what Baker Mayfield can be as a franchise quarterback. Baker Mayfield seems like one of those inconsistent quarterbacks. One week he does very good statistically, and the next week people think he's a bust. But I'm going with Cleveland this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville won this one. Next we have the Saints and the Broncos. The Saints, Taysom Hill's expected to be the starting quarterback again this week. And for the Broncos, they're coming off of an upset win against the Dolphins this past week. I just can't see the Broncos pulling off another upset in this one. Even though it's Taysom Hill at quarterback, who was really a tight end, and possibly even the third-string quarterback on the depth chart, but ultimately they went with Taysom Hill to be the starting quarterback in absence of Drew Brees. I feel like this might be a must-win for the Saints. I feel like if the Saints, if they can't beat a team like the Broncos, who knows how long Drew Brees is going to be out for. I am anticipating Drew Brees at least being out for the rest of the regular season. At least for the Saints to stay in to get themselves a solid spot in the NFC playoffs. So I'm going to go with the Saints in this one to pick up the win. I just feel like the Broncos coming off an emotional win against the Dolphins. I like the Saints' chances. I think they're going to utilize the running game of Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. And even Michael Thomas is getting back in the action. He got back in the action last week against the Falcons. Made a couple big catches that really led to the Saints' victory. So I'm going to go with New Orleans. Next, we've got the Rams and the 49ers. And I do apologize that I really messed up this part of the thumbnail. The Rams are actually the home team in this one. I used the wrong picture for this matchup. So ignore that. The Rams are actually the home team in this matchup. And for the 49ers, we're on the road to Los Angeles. Now, without any fans, this home field advantage just seems irrelevant for the majority, if not all, of the teams this season. But I think this 49ers team, they can still score some points. And the Rams, they have been the best defense in the league, statistically, since week 4 of the season. Now, the last time these two teams faced off, the 49ers, they completely dominated with the running game. And it's possible Raheem Mostert is going to be activated off the IR this week, as it feels like the entire running game for the 49ers has been placed on IR at some point or another. In fact, I believe all of them have, because I know Tevin Coleman's been on the IR, Mostert's been on the IR multiple times, Hasty's on the IR right now. I believe McKinnon was on the IR at some point. If not, he's missed quite a bit of time in the 49ers offense this season. And I'm going to go with the Rams, because the Rams, they're looking like the hotter team right now. Defensively, they're coming off of a couple big-time performances against some of the top-tier teams in the NFC, and the Seahawks and the Buccaneers. So I think it's time for the Rams to be considered as a threat to win the NFC. I'm going to pick the Rams win this week, although I think the 49ers, they can score some points if they can get past the Rams secondary. If they can get points on the board, the 49ers can make this close. But I'm going to take the Rams, because the Rams have been playing very well lately. Next, we have what I think is one of the bigger games of the week in the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are coming off of a loss on Monday Night Football against the Rams. The Buccaneers have struggled in primetime this season. Tom Brady seems to not do so well in primetime under the lights this season. While the Chiefs, their only loss this year is to the Raiders, and they had a come-from-behind win to avoid being swept by them this season. Now, I expect this Chiefs offense to take advantage of the young Buccaneers secondary. Tyreek Hill is going to be too fast for anybody in this one. But if the Buccaneers, if they can get to Patrick Mahomes quickly, force him into bad decisions, the Buccaneers have a chance. But I just can't see it out of this Buccaneers defense. I just feel like every time the Buccaneers, they play one of the top tier opponents in the league, They just need to get blown out. And I think we're in for a similar situation. I think the Chiefs win this game pretty convincingly, and the Chiefs will establish themselves as the top threat to not only represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, but win the Super Bowl. And ultimately, we can see the Chiefs easily back in Tampa again in February for the Super Bowl. And I think that's leaning towards a possibility. So I'm going to go with Kansas City in this one. Sunday Night Football, we have the Bears and the Packers. Bears going off of a bye week, while the Packers are coming off an emotional loss against the Colts in a game where they probably could have won that one if maybe one or two things go differently in that game. For the Packers, the Bears defense, it's looking like a pretty good defense. Not as dominant as a defense as we saw in 2018, but it's still a pretty good defense. And I think with the Bears coming off of a bye week, I think the Bears, they have a chance to pull off this upset, but it's very rare that Aaron Rodgers loses in back-to-back weeks. And I think Aaron Rodgers is going to gather up the film, see what went wrong, and he's going to lead the team to adjust those mistakes. I expect Devontae Adams to have a big night, probably 2 touchdowns in this game. And I will go with the Packers in this matchup because I just can't see Aaron Rodgers losing 2 games in a row. I think that's really something that I just can't really see at this point. And plus the Bears, ever since they had that unbelievable start to the season, it's just gotten worse and worse by the week. So I'm going to go with Green Bay. And Week 12 wraps up with Monday Night Football between the Seahawks and the Eagles. And for the Eagles, could this be a must-win for them? Because the Eagles, they couldn't beat the Browns last week. And for the Seahawks, it's possible that Chris Carson can play this week. He is questionable. Pete Carroll did say that he will suit up this week unless there's a major setback in practice this week. The Eagles, they may be significant underdogs in this game, but the Eagles, they enjoy being underdogs. What I think the equalizer could be for the Eagles is if they were to get pressure on Russell Wilson. If they can get pressure on Russell Wilson, because the Eagles, they're second in the NFL in sacks this season. So if they can get to Russell Wilson, they could have a chance to win this game, because the Seahawks defense has not been good all season long. Although the Seahawks defense, I think there was a lot of signs of improvement in that Thursday Night Football game last week. But I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this game, although I do think the Eagles, they're going to keep this game close from start to finish, and it's going to be a lot closer than what the experts think. So those are my Week 12 NFL predictions. For review, I like the Texans, Washington Football Team, Steelers, Raiders, Bills, Giants, Colts, Vikings, Cardinals, Dolphins, Browns, Saints, Rams, Chiefs, Packers, and Seahawks this week. Like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you next time.